Always entirely empty. I haven't spoken in days, but I swear I just heard my name. I'm walking through the kitchen in the middle of the afternoon, tracing every heavy shadow in this quiet, dusty room. I dropped a heavy coffee cup and listened to it break, just to have a single sound to prove that I'm awake. Because the silence is a canvas where my mind begins to paint a terrifying picture of a devastating saint. I turn my head so quickly toward the doorway in the hall, absolutely certain that I heard you softly call. And I am living with the echoes of your voice inside my head, a haunting, sweet reminder of the words we left unsaid. It bounces off the ceiling, it whispers through the floor, a phantom conversation slipping right beneath the door. I'm chasing down a frequency that vanished in the gray, holding on to syllables that slowly wash away. Yeah, the memory is a ghost. I'm drowning in the echoes of your voice. I saved the final voice now that you left me in the spring. I play it every midnight just to feel the heavy sting. I'll see you in the morning, static humming on the line, a beautiful delusion that our future would be fine. Now I carry around your laughter like a dagger in the chest, a terrifying melody that puts me to the test. I hear you in the rainstorms, I hear you in the breeze, a sonic apparition that just brings me to my knees. It bounces off the ceiling, it whispers through the floor, a phantom conversation slipping right beneath the door. I'm chasing down a frequency that vanished in the gray, holding on to syllables that slowly wash away. Yeah, the memory is a ghost. I'm drowning in the echoes of your voice. Of you left behind, keep speaking to me. Slipping right beneath the door. I'm chasing down the frequency that vanished in the gray, holding on to syllables that slowly wash away. Yeah, the memory is a ghost. I'm drowning in the echoes of your voice, just a whisper in the dark. I keep turning around. You aren't there, just an echo. The truth doesn't matter anymore. The story's got a fracture in the middle of the grain, a pattern of deception that's been mapped out by the pain. I see the contradictions, I can read between the lines. I'm perfectly aware of all the hollow shifting signs. The logic screaming run, the evidence is clear, but I'm holding on to gravity just to keep her near. gray. It's a choice that I'm making, a burden that I choose, to live inside the fiction that I'm terrified to lose. The reality is sharp, but I'm looking at the frame. I believe her still anyway. I'm walking down, the king of all the echoes in this empty, quiet town. I've got a list of reasons, got a mountain of the doubt, but I don't wanna be the one to figure it all out, because knowing is a fight, and the fire's gonna burn, and there's a heavy lesson that I don't want to learn, and I believe her still. Even when the colors turn to shades of static gray, it's a choice that I'm making, a burden that I choose, to live inside the fiction that I'm terrified to lose. The reality is sharp, but I'm looking at the fray, and I believe her still. Keep believing, whatever it takes, anyway. The truth doesn't matter anymore. I can barely see you. You're just a speck on the horizon. We let the tether snap. We started out standing on the exact same patch of ground, wrapped up in a whisper, entirely safe and sound. But you took a little step to the left, and I stepped to the right. Just a tiny fracture in the middle of the night. We didn't even notice that the earth began to crack. Too busy looking forward to ever look back. Now I'm shouting out your name across a canyon made of stone, realizing I am standing here entirely alone. And the distance grew too vast, an ocean we can't cross. We're drowning in the silence of a catastrophic loss. We didn't have a massive fight, we didn't burn it down. We just slowly drifted out until we couldn't see the town. I reached out for your fingers, but I only grabbed the past. We tried to build a bridge, but the distance grew too fast. Yeah, the void is too wide. Look at you through binoculars made of heavy tears, watching how a couple days turned into heavy years. We send our little signals, a text or just a call, but they bounce right off the surface of a terrifying wall. It's a tragedy of inches, a slow and silent creep, until the shallow water became entirely too deep. We're standing on two islands under a fading, dying sun, accepting the reality of what we have undone. 'Cause the distance grew too vast, an ocean we can't cross. We're drowning in the silence of a catastrophic loss. We didn't have a massive fight, we didn't burn it down. We just slowly drifted out until we couldn't see the town. I reach out for your fingers, but I only grab the couldn't see the town. I reached out for your fingers, but I only grabbed the past. We tried to build a bridge, but the distance grew too fast. Just an echo on the wind. I can't hear you anymore. Miles and miles away. Too vast. Too vast. The anger is lifted, the current is pulling. We are losing the shoreline. I woke up today and the room felt a little too wide. An ocean of silence where there used to be a warm tide. I reached for your hand, but I caught only heavy, cold air. A terrifying whisper that maybe you aren't really there. We used to be tethered, tied up in a beautiful knot, but the fibers are fraying, and we're forgetting what we had got. I look in your eyes and the focus is starting to blur, replacing the present with shadows of who we once were. And we're drifting far away now, out into the deep, losing all the promises that we swore we'd keep. The island is fading, the beacon is losing its light, swallowed completely by the cold, unforgiving night. I'm waving my arms, but the fog is entirely too thick, watching our love become a disappearing trick. Yeah, the tide is too strong. We're drifting far away now. We sit at the table and talk about the weather outside, while ignoring the massive and terrifying divide. We're polite and we're quiet, like strangers waiting in line, pretending that everything between us is perfectly fine. But the compass is spinning, the needle is totally lost. We're floating on ice and ignoring the terrible cost. I wanna swim back, I wanna paddle against the gray sea, but you're perfectly content floating away from me. 'Cause we're drifting far away now, out into the deep, losing all the promises that we swore we'd keep. speck on the horizon, slipping into the fog. No way back, drifting. Pour me another one, make it a double this time. I've got a lot to forget. The neon sign is buzzing out above the street, reflecting in the puddles underneath my feet. I claimed this corner stool a couple hours ago, watching the whiskey in the heavy glass sit low. The bartender gives a sympathetic tired nod, while I'm sending up a silent prayer to a missing God. I'm tracing out your name inside the condensation, trying to find an exit from this desperation. And I'm just drinking away the night, one glass at a time, committing an invisible and lonely kind of crime. I'm trying to drown your ghost out in the amber and the ice, but every time I close my eyes, I end up paying the price. The liquor burns on the way down, but it doesn't kill the pain. I'm just drinking away the night, waiting for the rain. Yeah, drinking away the night. There's an old jukebox playing a familiar tune, a sad old song about a solitary moon. I look over at the empty stool beside my right, where you used to sit and anchor me into the light. But now it's just a vacuum and an empty space, a painful vivid memory of the details of your face. I throw another crumpled dollar down onto the wood, trying to convince myself that this is doing any good. But I'm just drinking away the night, one glass at a time, committing an invisible and lonely kind of crime. I'm trying to drown your ghost out in the amber and the ice, but every time I close my eyes, I end up paying the price. The liquor burns on the way down, but it doesn't kill the pain. I'm just drinking away the night, waiting for the rain. Yeah, drinking away the night. They say that time's a healer, but the clock is standing still, and I'm at the absolute bottom of a bitter pill. You can't wash away a memory with the river of regret, but it's the only single strategy that I have managed yet. Just keep pouring. Cause I'm drinking away the night, one glass at a time, committing an invisible and lonely kind of crime. I'm trying to drown your ghost out in the amber and the ice, but every time I close my eyes, I end up paying the price. The liquor burns on the way down, but it doesn't kill the pain. I'm just drinking away the night, waiting for the rain. Last call rings out, I push the glass away, walking out into the cold, drinking away. Mm. The headlights cut completely through the dark. You didn't look in the rearview mirror. I am just a shadow in the dust. I'm standing on the edge of this entirely broken street, feeling the agonizing coldness rising up beneath my feet. I watched you turn the heavy key and shift it into gear, erase the final boundary line and make it entirely clear. You kept your eyes completely fixed upon the road ahead, ignoring all the devastating words we left unsaid. I raised my trembling hand to give a final hollow wave, but you were completely focused on the distance you could save. And you were driving away from me, fading into the night, taking every single piece of our completely dying light. I'm watching the red tail lights blur entirely through my tears, as minutes stretch into the weight of agonizing years. I cannot run entirely fast enough to chase the heavy car. Yeah, the distance is completely ruthless. You're driving away from me. I remember when this exact same driveway used to be the place where I would wait to see the absolute beauty of your face, when every single mile you drove was bringing you entirely near and chasing away the shadows of my terrifying fear. Now the rubber burns exactly on the very same gravestone, but the direction is entirely reversed and I am left alone. The engine hums a devastating heavy lullaby, a brutal mechanical soundtrack to this absolute goodbye. 'Cause you are driving away from me, fading into the night, taking every single piece of our completely dying light. I'm watching the red tail lights blur entirely through my tears, as minutes stretch into the weight of agonizing years. I cannot run entirely fast enough to chase the heavy car. Yeah, the distance is completely ruthless. You're driving away from me. I wanna completely throw myself in front of the heavy wheels. I wanna scream entirely out exactly how this breaking feels, but I am absolutely paralyzed upon the freezing line, while you were speeding blindly toward an entirely different dawn. I am completely left taking every single piece of our completely dying light. I'm watching the red tail lights blur entirely through my tears, as minutes stretch into the weight of agonizing years. I cannot run entirely fast enough to chase the heavy car. Yeah, the distance is completely ruthless. You're driving away from me. just an empty, quiet road. The sound of the engine is entirely gone. The taillights are swallowed by the dark. Driving away. It's getting deep. I can't find the surface. No. The air is thin inside this empty room. The walls are closing in an ocean gloom. I try to breathe, but all I take is pain. A rising tide of things I can't explain. I reach for you, but only touch the cold, the heavy anchor of the lies you told. I'm drowning in your absence, sinking in the dark, caught beneath the current with a heavy broken heart. The silence pulls me under, the water fills my chest, drowning in your absence with no way left to rest. The clock is ticking, but the hands stand still. The water's rising up to the windowsill. I watch our memories floating on by, a faded picture and a long goodbye. I kick my feet, I'm trying to survive, but losing you is eating me alive. I'm drowning in your absence, sinking in the dark, caught beneath the current with a heavy broken heart. The silence pulls me under, the water fills my chest, drowning in your absence with no way left to rest. My lungs are burning as the light begins to fade. I'm trapped inside the heavy ocean we made. I thought that you would be my rescue boat, but you just watch me struggle to stay afloat. furniture hasn't completely moved. The doors are still entirely unlocked, but the air is completely suffocating now. I look at the heavy books we used to entirely share, now covered in a thick gray blanket of absolute despair. We didn't have a terrifying, glass-shattering fight. We just entirely stopped reaching for each other in the night. I watched the heavy particles floating in the pale moonbeam, a devastating monument to a completely abandoned dream. We let the beautiful garden entirely dry up and decay, and watch the vibrant colors completely turn to gray. And the dust settles on love, completely covering the gold, turning something incredibly warm into something entirely cold. There wasn't any heavy explosion, no terrifying sudden sound, just a quiet devastation falling softly to the ground. We completely stopped trying to wipe the heavy ash away. Yeah, the silence is entirely absolute. The dust settles on love. I trace my trembling finger across the heavy wooden table, writing out our completely shattered history while I am able. The line in the gray ash is the only absolute proof that we ever lived beneath this entirely caving roof. You are sitting right across from me in the heavy leather chair, but there is a terrifying, massive ocean of distance in the air. We are completely paralyzed inside this devastating frame, unable to entirely remember why we ever played the game. 'Cause the dust settles on love, completely covering the gold, turning something incredibly warm into something entirely cold. There wasn't any heavy explosion, no terrifying sudden sound, just a quiet devastation falling softly to the ground. We completely stopped trying to wipe the heavy ash away. Yeah, the silence is entirely absolute. The dust settles on love. I wanna completely open up the heavy wooden blinds. I wanna entirely break the suffocating apathy that binds, but we are completely buried underneath this heavy gray snow, watching the absolute terrifying death of everything we know. It is entirely suffocating. The dust settles on love, completely covering the stop trying to wipe the heavy ash away. Yeah, the silence is entirely absolute. The dust settles on love, just entirely covered in gray. The air is completely still. We let it entirely die. Dust settles. The morning light creeps in, but the room is still so cold. I reach out my hand in the dark. The indentation on your pillow hasn't faded away. I leave it untouched to get me through the day. There's a half-read paperback sitting on your stand, a ghost of a future that didn't go as planned. I lie awake listening for your breathing in the hall, but there's absolutely nothing but the silence on the wall. And I'm staring at the empty side of the bed, replaying all the final beautiful things you said. The heavy linen sheets still hold the memory of you, and I don't know how to navigate this endless sea of blue. There's a canyon in the mattress where my entire world used to lay. Now it's just the empty side of the bed where you drifted away. Yeah, the empty side of the bed. I haven't moved the jacket that you threw across the chair. Sometimes I close my eyes and pretend that you're still there. The shadows in the corner play cruel tricks on my mind. I'm endlessly searching for a comfort that I'm never gonna find. I keep strictly to my half, I don't cross the invisible line. Like preserving this space will somehow manage to rewind the time. And I'm staring at the empty side of the bed, replaying all the final beautiful things you said. The heavy linen sheets still hold the memory of you, and I don't know how to navigate this endless sea of blue. There's a canyon in the mattress where my entire world used to lay. Now it's just the empty side of the bed where you drifted away. Yeah, the empty side of the bed. How do you sleep when half of your soul is gone? How do you find the strength to face another dawn? I'm holding on to the ghost of a warmth that is slowly turning There's a canyon in the mattress where my entire world used to lay. Now it's just the empty side of the bed where you drifted away. Just empty space. I pull the covers up tight, closing my eyes again. Empty side. The engine cuts out, the dust starts to settle. I'm stepping down. I punched my ticket at the station 20 years ago. I rode the iron machine through the rain and the snow. I've seen the painted deserts and the cities made of glass, watching a million different lives just blur and pass. But the coal is burning low and the fire's going blind. I've left the heavy baggage and the compromise is behind. I'm looking out the window at the setting of the sun, knowing in my bones that the traveling is done. And this is the end of the line, the very last stop. I poured all my spirit right down to the drop. There is no more track laid out ahead in the sand. I'm stepping out of the car with an empty hand. I've outrun the devil, I've outrun the time, but I'm finally stepping off at the end of the line. Yeah, the end of the line. I hear the conductor blowing on the final whistle blow, a heavy hollow sound letting everybody know. I gather up my coat and I pull down my brim, stepping from the shadows where the light is getting dim. I don't have a map for the wilderness out there, just the desert wind blowing through the quiet air. But there's a kind of peace in having nowhere left to go, a sudden total silence that I've never got to know. Cause this is the end of the line, the very last stop. I poured all my spirit right down to the drop. There is no more track laid out ahead in the sand. I'm stepping out of the car with an empty hand. I've outrun the devil, I've outrun the time, but I'm finally stepping off at the end of the line. Yeah, the end. You can't outride the shadows that are living in your chest. Sometimes you have to stop the wheel and lay it all to rest. Let the engine die. I've reached the end of the line, the very last stop. I poured all my spirit right down to the drop. There is no more track laid out ahead in the sand. I'm stepping out of the car with an empty hand. I've outrun the devil, I've outrun the time, but I'm finally stepping off at the end of the line. Just the desert dust, just the cooling steel. No more moving forward. The end of the line. The colors used to be so loud. No, I can't see them at all. walked out to the garden just to see the spring, to try and feel the warmth that the sun is supposed to bring. But the yellow of the morning and the green upon the trees are looking like a photograph developing in a freeze. The vibrancy is vanished, the saturation bled, replaced by an ocean of heavy muted lead. And I'm fading into the gray, watching the vibrant world just wash away. I'm losing the outline of who I used to be, a shadow sinking in a colorless sea. I try to hold on to the light of the day, but I'm just fading, fading into the gray. The city moves around me in a frantic, hurried blur, a symphony of chaos where the living things occur. But the voices sound like buzzing through a thick and heavy glass. I'm a ghost upon the pavement, watching everybody pass. I try to paint a smile on, I try to strike a spark, but the canvas is exhausted and the room is getting dark. And I'm fading into the gray, watching the vibrant world just wash away. I'm losing the outline of who I used to be, a shadow sinking in a colorless sea. I try to hold on to the light of the day, but I'm just fading, fading into the gray. Give me the red of the fire, give me the blue of the deep. Wake me up from this heavy, suffocating sleep. I wanna feel the burn, I wanna feel the sting. I'd rather be in agony than not feel anything, but it's just so blank. And I'm fading into the gray, watching the vibrant world just wash away. I'm losing the outline of who I used to be, a shadow sinking in a colorless sea. I try to hold on to the light of the day, but I'm just fading, fading into the gray. Just a shadow now, blending in with the concrete. Nothing left to see, fading out. I close my eyes, but the picture isn't clear. Where did you go? We were already bleeding out. The pulse was completely gone, but you just had to make sure. We spent a year entirely dying in this suffocating room, watching all our vibrant promises transform into a tomb. I tried to stitch the heavy wounds, I tried to stop the bleed, while you were entirely focused on exactly what you need. The foundation was crumbling down, the wood began to rot. We were entirely tangled in a devastating knot, but I was still standing there, refusing to let it go, until you dealt the absolute, entirely fatal blow. And that was the final nail in the coffin, the absolute bitter end, the absolute destruction of a lover and a friend. You didn't leave a single crack for the oxygen to creep. You buried this completely in the devastating deep. I'm standing in the graveyard of the history we made, staring at the handle of your heavy rusty spade. Yeah, there is no coming back. You drove the final nail in the coffin. I could've maybe forgiven the shadows in your past. I could've fixed the shattered glass that you entirely cast. But looking in my eyes while you lied right to my face, erased every single ounce of my remaining grace. You couldn't just walk away and leave the ashes there. You had to burn the very ground and poison all the air. You sealed the heavy wooden lid and locked it from the start, and permanently severed all the strings attached to my heart. 'Cause that was the final nail in the coffin, the absolute bitter end, the absolute destruction of a lover and a friend. You didn't leave a single crack for the oxygen to creep. You buried this completely in the devastating deep. I'm standing in the graveyard of the history we made, staring at the handle of your heavy rusty spade. Yeah, there is no coming back. You drove the final nail in the coffin. I hope you sleep completely soundly in the bed you made. I hope you'll never have to feel the absolute price I paid. There will be absolutely no resurrection here today. I am washing the dirt off my hands and walking far away. You killed it. That was the final nail in the coffin, the absolute bitter end, the absolute destruction of a lover and a friend. You didn't leave a single crack for the oxygen to creep. You buried this completely in the devastating deep. I'm standing in the graveyard of the history we made, staring at the handle of your heavy rusty spade. Yeah, there is no coming back. You drove the final nail in the coffin, stirred upon the wood. The heavy hammer falls. I am entirely done. The final nail. The storm is finally over. The clouds are breaking up. I can see the sky. I woke up in the morning and I didn't reach for you. The sky outside the window was a brilliant, startling blue. I walked into the bathroom and I looked into the glass, expecting all the shadows of the tragedy to pass. But my eyes were clear and steady, and my breathing wasn't tight. I survived the heavy darkness of a never-ending night. The well is finally empty, the reservoir's dry. I've run out of the sorrow, I've forgotten how to cry. And the final tears falling, washing down the drain. I'm stepping completely out of the pouring rain. The grieving is concluded, the mourning is complete. I'm standing here with steady ground beneath my feet. I loved you to the limit, I loved you to the bone, but I'm finally making peace with walking on my own. Yeah, the healing has begun. The final tear is falling. I held your faded photograph and didn't fall apart. I felt a quiet stillness in the center of my heart. The memory is a painting that I'm hanging on the wall, instead of a heavy anchor that is waiting for the fall. I'm sweeping up the pieces of the porcelain we broke. I'm opening the windows to clear away the smoke. It's a beautiful surrender to realize it's done, and to turn my weary shoulders back toward the rising sun. 'Cause the final tears falling, washing down the drain. I'm stepping completely out of the pouring rain. The grieving is concluded, the mourning is complete. I'm standing here with steady ground beneath my feet. I loved you to the limit, I loved you to the bone, but I'm finally making peace with walking on my own. Yeah, the healing has begun. The final tear is falling. The final tear is falling. I thought I'd drown forever in the ocean of my grief. I thought I'd never make it to the safety of the reef, but I swam through all the wreckage and I made it to the sand. I'm stepping on the shoreline of a brand new open land. I'm finally breathing. I'm finally breathing. The final tears falling, washing down the drain. I'm stepping completely out of the pouring rain. The grieving is concluded, the mourning is complete. I'm standing here with steady ground beneath my feet. I loved you to the limit, I loved you to the bone, but I'm finally making peace with walking on my own. Yeah, the healing has begun. The final tears falling, cheeks are dry, head held high, walking in the light. I'm okay. We were blinding for a moment, the brightest thing in the room. Now I can't see my hands. We struck the match in the middle of a freezing bitter dark. It only took a second for the wind to catch the spark. We poured out all the gasoline, we threw in all the wood. We wanted to be warmer than we ever thought we could. The flames were leaping higher than the shadows on the wall. We were absolutely certain that the tower wouldn't fall. But when you burn that brightly, you consume the very air. And suddenly you're choking on the smoke that gathers there. And the fire burned out fast, leaving nothing but the gray. A beautiful inferno that was stripped entirely away. We traded out tomorrow for a frantic Russian heat. And now we're standing freezing on a dead and empty street. I'm reaching for the embers, but they crumble into glass. We didn't pace the rhythm, and the fire burned out fast. I look around the wreckage of the promises we made, just a pile of heavy ashes where the brilliant colors played. The fever broke so suddenly, the temperature just dropped. The roaring of the furnace was abruptly, brutally stopped. You're standing right beside me, but your eyes are going blank. We emptied every drop of water from the heavy tank. We thought we were a miracle, a legendary sight, but we were just a firework that vanished in the night. 'Cause the fire burned out fast, leaving nothing but the gray. A beautiful inferno that was stripped entirely away. We traded out tomorrow for a frantic Russian heat. And now we're standing freezing on a dead and empty street. I'm reaching for the embers, but they crumble into glass. We didn't pace the rhythm, and the fire burned out fast. I wish we had protected it, I wish we moved so slow. I wish we baked the coals to give us somewhere left to go. But we were greedy for the light, we wanted to be blind. And now we have to navigate the dark we left behind. It's entirely freezing. Fire burned out fast, leaving nothing but the gray. A beautiful inferno that was stripped entirely away. We traded out tomorrow for a frantic Russian heat. And now we're standing freezing on a dead and empty street. I'm reaching for the embers, but they crumble into glass. We didn't pace the rhythm, and the fire burned out fast. Just a wisp of smoke rising in the freezing air. I'm shivering now, burned out fast. Just a whisper of smoke.